Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. In this video, I want to talk to you about the beauty and blessings of having experienced being cursed before, knowing that someone has used dark magic or jinx or put a curse on me, right? That I am so blessed to have experienced that, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, I need to tell you a story. So, I teach students who plan to go into teaching, and one of the things that I always tell my students is that the student who comes to class smelling like pee, sleeps in your class, don't turn their homework in, their father, is in jail, the mother comes to the parent-teacher conference maybe in her go-go outfit, and maybe she has 2 teeth and you can barely understand what she's saying. This is the kid who needs you the most. The kid who throws spitballs, who interrupts your class, who doesn't pay attention, who's struggling. This is why you're going into teaching. This student needs you more than anybody. And if you are just there for the students who do their homework, who raise their hands, who get the answers right, who's always available and engaging and said, "Oh, teacher, pick me," consider yourself lucky. Because these students, they are going to be successful no matter what, no matter who they have, right? But that student who's asleep and hungry and dirty and tired, that is why you become a teacher. There are doctors who only like patients who take care of themselves, patients who eat healthfully, patients who exercise. Then why did you become a doctor? Why did you become a doctor if the only patients you enjoy and like are the ones who really don't need you? You see, if you are a boxer, you have to enjoy punching as well as taking a punch. I don't know if that makes sense. You have to enjoy the sport. You have to enjoy winning and losing, sweating, everything about it. The aches, the pains, because that's how you know you love boxing. That's how I feel about Magick. That's how I feel about Magick. You don't know. It's not whether the spell worked, but did I learn something? Was it fun? Was it enjoyable? And that brings me to, how could I enjoy the art of magic if I am afraid of having been cursed? And I have experienced it. Now, I don't want to go into the details, but but I'm so happy that I have, because one, I know that it works. And let me tell you something. There's a purpose for this video, for somebody that's watching it that's worried about being cursed. I'm not going to tell you to pretend that you weren't cursed, because I know I have experienced it. Somebody coming after my money, I've experienced it. I know what it feels like, and I'm so honored and I'm so blessed to have experienced it, because I'm going to tell you what's on the other side of it. Every time somebody curse you, you're supposed to learn from it. There is wisdom, there is power, there is knowledge, there's intuition. When somebody curse you, what they're really doing, let me tell you what's happening. This is just my opinion, and this is for future Cassandra, by the way. They're making you stronger. They're making you wiser. They're making you more powerful than you ever would have been without that curse. I would have never known about magical. I think it was called Magical Attacks by Gordon Winterfield. I would have never discovered some of my best protection books. Is it called Magical Protection by Damon Brand? Like, let me tell you something. If people had not come for me, I would not be the person I am today. And I thank them. Because I'm telling you, I have had days where I've thought, you know what, Satan, you can take the day off. I got today. You don't have to worry about today, Satan. You can take a break. You don't even know. You need to go on vacation. I got this. So I'm gonna tell you something. When somebody curses you, what this means is there's been a temporary. It's not. Wait. I want to say it's a temporary delay, but I don't believe that. I believe that you are being prepared to get what you really want. Because maybe what you want, you weren't ready for it. I can tell you straight-faced that if I had not gone through the things that I've gone through, if I had become a multi-millionaire, I can tell you right now I would have lost all my money. I would have given it away. I would have given it away. I would have been swindled out of it because I've always been very naive. So let's just say you think nobody is going to, I don't want to say going to, if somebody is trying to curse your love life, that means the relationship is not what you think it is. And maybe you might go through something with your partner that will improve and enhance that relationship. You may become stronger together. You may learn how to communicate. So let me just say this. When somebody curses you, when you go through something, and think of it like, you know how the butterfly the caterpillar, the butterfly goes through these stages. First, it's like let's just talk about it. It's a caterpillar. It's a caterpillar, right? And and he's just thinking looking maybe up at the birds, thinking, I really want to fly one day. He's looking at the bumblebees. He's like, but I'm just a caterpillar. So when he goes to the cocoon stage, he probably thinks he's being cursed. But this is when he's getting his wings. You understand that? When he's going through the darkness, when he is transforming, when he's turning to mush, he is getting his wings. When somebody do something to you, I want you to ask yourself, when you feel like, oh my God, I think I've been cursed. And I know the feeling now. I got some good stuff. But I want to talk about this first, about my stuff and my lessons and who I am as a person. You see, I believe, now I know a lot of people don't believe in karma. And then I don't believe in karma in the sense of karma. I believe in the evolution of the human experience, the evolution of to be a better version of yourself every day, like in every lifetime, right? So let me explain this. So I have had students, a student before who just really hated group work. And they just hated their group members. The group members did nothing to them. They just was like, why do we have to do group work? I hate it. And it was just horrible, right? Just complaining and whining. And even though their classmates had done nothing to provoke these feelings, maybe they've had bad experiences in other classes. This happened a billion years ago, another lifetime. But anyway, so this student is always like just whining and complaining about their group members and how I hate everybody and why do we have to do this? And just all of this. So on the day that it was time for them to actually do their presentation, the most human thing happened to this person. They overslept. And when they came to class, their group was leaving the front of the class. They had already presented, and this person was just completely devastated. But the group members said, you contributed to the project. We're going to still give you your points. You're still going to get full credit, because I always let my group members distribute the points to each other based on each person keeping their end of the deal, right? So this person was like, no, I overslept. I don't deserve these points. I don't deserve it. I have, no, please. And the group was like, no, but you did. You were always at the library. You always contributed. You were always there. Like, you put the PowerPoint together. Like, no, we're giving you your point. This person broke down crying like a baby. Like, please take the points. And they wouldn't do it. Turn to me, please, Dr. Sturges, I don't want these points. I said, I don't have any power. Your group members say you deserve it. Tore them up. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what I call karma. That's what I call grace. Sometimes some people are so used to just having negative experiences that they don't learn lessons through negative experiences. They learn through grace. So when somebody sends something my way, now I'm gonna I'm gonna send something back to you. But it's not gonna be what you think, because I want you to grow. I want to grow. Who knows? Maybe who knows? But I believe that when you send something back, I'm learn not to be so naive. Some people may need, a firm hand in terms of when they do something. Some people really just need tenderness. They need love. They need compassion. You understand? So to me, what I love about Magick is that I think that what we call magic today is really going to be normal. It's going to be like airplanes to a caveman. Like, if a caveman saw an airplane, they would think, oh my God, that's magic. Right? It has to be magic. But I think that we are evolving, that we have more travel between dimensions, between entities and beings and spirits. And we are all, even though we are incarnating into a particular physical body, I think that we will have more assistance and more access to previous lifetimes. And I just think it's going to, I would say, I don't know what the timeline is, but I think it's going to be such a normal part of humanity. And then I've read so many metaphysical books that say it was normal, but we abused it, that we were all magical beings, and that we did some things that was considered very unethical from a spiritual perspective. So I think that we're getting back to that. So this may seem weird now, or it may seem like, the occult, esoteric knowledge and all of this, but I think I just think this is all going to be just regular interaction, and we're going to have laws about it, and we're going to have rules and ethics, and we're going to understand it better. So anyway, with that being said, the other thing about I teach race and ethnic relations, and one of the things I try to tell my students, not try, no, we are a family. We are a family. We're not black, we're not white, we're not Asian, we are a family. And what we're about to read, we are aliens from another planet, and we're trying to understand some things that have happened. And I like to do that because it's so easy for things to become very emotional. Now, I know this sounds, I try to protect my students because you're my student and you're learning. And I think that a lot of times the slave owners never knew that their great-great-grandchildren would be humiliated and ashamed of who they are because of what they've done. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think karma is something that comes back to us to punish us. I don't believe in that. I think that it comes back to us so that we can reflect on who we are and who we aim to be and how our actions have impacted the lives of other people. That's how I think of karma. We're all trying to be the best version of ourselves, and we hold each other accountable. So for me, I want people to experience themselves. I always ask when now I know. I used to think, oh, I have all this protection around me. Why do I have to know that someone is sending harm my way? And I talk to my, guardian angels. I talk to my spiritual team. It's like, we want you to know you're protected. We want you to know when something is happening. So when something happens, I always send it back for this person to evolve and be the best version of themselves and learn the lesson that is needed to be the best version of themselves. So if you practice magic and you just want to, let's say your rent is behind, right? And you just feel like, oh, I just need some money to pay my rent. Maybe you you may not want to work with demons, okay? You just might want to get a candle. You might just want to, do a sigil or do something simple. But I think if you truly love magic, and I truly love magic, I love everything about it. I love the demons, the angels, the entities, the spirits. I love it when it works. I love it when it doesn't work. I love the rituals. I love everything about it because I think it is really the language of interacting with, I want to say, entities, spirits, and beings on different timelines and dimensions to bring about a certain result. But the change is not what you think you're asking for. What you're asking for is a carrot that is pushing you towards the greatest version of yourself. You may, I don't know, does that make sense? You think you want $1 million, but let me just say this for myself. I think I've spent my life, trying to pay back student loans, trying to become a millionaire, but it has led me to reading some of the most beautiful books in the world, discovering some of the most interesting information that I would have never uncovered. And sometimes I think, if I had everything I wanted, would I still continue to grow? Would I still continue to learn? Will I still continue to read? But now I know I will because I love it so much. I know that it's a part of who I am. So just so I can make this really clear for anybody who feel that someone has cursed you, has used black magic on you. Now, I'm the kind of person at this point in my life, I send that energy back to you for you to be the greatest and grandest version of yourself and learn the lesson and the way that is most healing for you. And I always tell people, to me, it's not for people to I don't think a lot of people learn from they rather you punch them than make them cry. Now I want you to cry. I want you to be reflective. I want you to think about what you've done. It's just, as myself, I ask for my lessons to come under grace. Okay? So, one, if somebody cursed you, jinx you, that means that whatever you want, you're being prepared to get it. They're not stopping anything. They're making you stronger. They're sending you, what they're really sending you, think of it as like, you know how sometimes when you take your baby to get a vaccine and the baby cries, because it's to make the baby stronger. Think of every time you know that something is you're like, you know this, there's an obstacle, there's a metaphysical obstacle, there's a no. They're not in your way. They are making you more powerful. And you have to ask yourself, what do I need to learn? What do I need to experience? What tools are available to me? Am I using my intuition? What signs did I overlook? That is the mindset that you need to have. And when you learn those lessons and you come through that cocoon and you get your butterfly wings, just know that everything that happens to you is happening to make you better. Now, I'm not a person who's going to say sit around and take it. I don't believe in that either. But like I said, I think that for me, sending energy back is to help us all evolve. Because if I'm doing something to hurt other people, I need to evolve, right? Because I believe that everybody should have the freedom to be who they are as long as they're not hurting anyone else. So I think I said in one of my videos that I want, I want my partner to be a magician. And so now my son thinks I'm insane, and I think he always says, "Ma, you're going to be a hit in the mental institution. They're going to love you." He doesn't believe in magic. He said, when you go around saying that you want a magician, what you're really saying is, I am happily single and I want to be single for the rest of my life. Yeah! Yeah! He said there's no such thing as magic and there's no such thing as a magician, right? But I told him, he said, "Ma, why would you even want something like that? I mean, you just make people think you're crazy." So this is my answer. I said, look, when I have conjured up an entity from another dimension and he's in my kitchen and he won't leave, okay, I want to crawl in bed next to my partner. I want to kiss him on the back of his neck and say, "Baby, there is a entity, a being in the kitchen, and I've asked it to leave several times, but it refuses." I want him to look at me and say, "Again?" as he proceeds to go to the kitchen. Not asking me, is magic real, or is he real, or is it real? But but knowing that I'm always going to play with magic. I'm always going to do something that I don't like rules. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.